thank you for joining us today for our Future-Proof webinar series. Welcome to the Future of Wonderware Technology webinar. This is looking at the roadmap ahead to 2013 and beyond. So I'm just going to mute all the lines now, and we'll unmute them at the end for questions. This webinar is being recorded and will be placed onto our website later today.
Participant lines muted.
The webinar today is being hosted by Paul Alcock, and he's our Wonderware pre-sales consultant. He joined us in 2013, and he's previously worked for a system integrator, working across various verticals. He's got over 13 years of experience in implementing successful Wonderware projects and specialises in system platforms. So I'll now pass you over to Paul. Good morning, Paul.
Morning. Okay, this webinar is about the future of Wonderware technology. What I'd like to do to start off with is talk a bit about the industrial trends and then go on to the roadmap for the Wonderware releases. So first of all, smartphones and tablets are becoming more popular. Smartphones and tablets are outsold laptops and servers in 2011, and as you can see from the graph, the tablet computers are actually becoming more and more popular. Today we have over 400 registered handsets for our Smart Glance KPI reporting tool, and the workflow product has now got a tablet program for the iPad and the iPhone to be able to manage your report filling. And we have Intelligence, which is a business information tool consolidating multiple data from different sources. Virtualization is becoming more and more popular. It starts from the IT world and is being used to consolidate operating systems into one box. It's now mainstream in the manufacturing industry. We're finding more and more people using it. And in 2011, 40% of 32-bit operating systems have been virtualized. Wonderware Software is supported on high availability and disaster recovery, both for VMware and Hyper-V. They're certified for the virtualized environment, which is very good for consolidating your hardware as well as being able to have disaster recovery and roll up patches when you need to. Cloud computing is becoming more and more popular. $109 billion worth of investment has been placed in this area, and almost $15 billion worth of revenue has been seen from this area of software as a service. Microsoft alone have invested almost $10 billion worth of revenue in their cloud offering, the Azure cloud. And here at Microsoft we have over 40 sites all using the cloud-based reporting KPI software, and we are announcing more and more services in this year and next. As far as big data, it's a popular term that people are using more and more. It's taking a lot of information and being able to analyze it so you get more out of your data, so your data becomes information. And in the manufacturing industry, process data and historical data and production data is becoming used more and more, and there's more of it from the different devices. And we need better tools and being able to capture that information and analyze it. Wonderware last year released the historian tiered function, and previous releases they had the historian tiered function and intelligence to be able to manipulate that data. And there's more and more investment, especially in the R2 release. It's all about getting more information out of your system and being able to analyze it. Now, in the industrial trends, industry is finding it harder and harder to find skilled employees, and they need to get this level of skill up quicker. And by having digital definitions, documentation and enforcing procedures means that they're able to get people trained quicker and they can improve the performance. Now, we released in 2011 IntelliTrack. We upgraded to IntelliTrack and released the Orchestra Workflow product, which meant that they could enforce procedures and make sure that decisions were collaborative and in the right manner. And this has been enhanced in the releases, the recent releases, especially the tablet version of the workflow product. Quality is one of the important aspects of every business, especially for safety and regulatory compliance. Now, we've released an additional module, the quality module for MES, and what that allows you to do is, again, alleviating the same functionality and also combining with those functionality if required, you can look at quality against a particular batch and a work order. Businesses are wanting to stay agile, so they want to be able to get more out of their systems and also combine systems together. So the separate islands of control networks, and what we want to do is bring those together in a real-time environment. And the 2012 System Platform R2 release means that they've added the multi-galaxy support, which means that you can combine those systems together in real time. So this means that we're aligning people and also aligning the assets, keeping up with industrial and technology trends, and staying one step ahead of the market. So if we move on to the roadmap and recent releases, there's been a big release in the R2 release, and one of the things that they focused on is the customer experience. So as far as tech support goes, and also the documentation that comes with all this, the new releases and available on our support sites, the customer satisfaction has gone up, and there's a lot less change requests because of the way that they develop the software, which means that you get higher quality products, better customer satisfaction, and still staying easier to use. One example of that is rolling all the software up and being able to either install them by role base or by product base, all the core products on the same DVD. As far as the data management, reporting and analysis, R2 has invested an awful lot into this area. So the historian is changed from the bottom up. So if we take the previous version, then we've got the historian client, the historian server. This could be connected directly to the devices or through application server. And we're keeping with the easy to manage and simple to query technologies, so the open source SQL connection. And you can decentralize, so you can have local historians, which are reduced functionality on local sites, and then combine them with a tiered historian at a centralized location, which means that you get the best out of your system with the most efficient use of your data. And this is still using the secured Microsoft technology to be able to communicate between the different historians, as well as if there's a break in communication, then the local historian stores and forwards that information on when required. In the R2 release, there's been some big changes. We now have 500,000 tag license, which is a big system, and which can handle lots of different queries. And because of the engine behind it, means that the retrieval is faster. And the introduction of a failover historian means that we're collecting data to both historians at the same time using System Platform, and that means that we can, if you want disaster recovery, you can have historians in separate locations and you're still keeping hold of your data, and this is seamless for the client's view. They've added extra resilience on the data streaming, so this is for late data, as well as adding faster acquisition and CSV files. So if there's data that's not real-time data, then this is loaded faster and more efficiently, and this still allows you to retrieve it faster as well. And it's been redesigned from the bottom up, which means that it utilizes the latest SQL Server 64-bit technology. It is shipped with 2012, but it works on 2008 R2 SQL Server as well, if you require that, with a correct patch version. And looking into the future, because the historian is so good at what it does, they're including the alarms within this, adding the functionality into the integrated development environment, and increasing sizes as more tests are done. Moving on to collecting your data, so Information Server R2, as a new function added to this, so it can integrate the view, so you can see your historical data. It's model driven, so you can correlate different data sources against one another, and you can also tailor it how you want, so you can add annotation, alarms, acknowledgement of alarms, and it's all easier to install. And if you've already got System Platform and you're on support, you're able to upgrade, or you buy the new software. This isn't a traditional product. This is part of the information server, so the clients will be able to have access to this. The Wonderware Intelligence, which is for manufacturing analytics, it gets your data from multiple data sources, and what you can do is you can compare sites, you can compare processes together, and then you can easily get started and you can manipulate them as you want to. So depending on how you want to get your information and what kind of information you want, then this is a step up to more of a corporate solution. And the client is fully mobile, and it's going to be using in the next new releases that are coming up at the end of this year and into next year. It's going to be using the newest versions of SQL Server, business information. If we move on to operations and execution, there's been investments in the workflow product to make collaborative decisions, as well as MES, particularly the MES quality, which seamlessly integrates with the other MES, with performance and operations, and still uses alleviates the power of the System Platform to get the data, so you're able to track actually how your plant's performing and what's been produced against real data. And the quality module allows you to get integrated specifications and flexible sample plans, so you can add samples as you require easily, and you can actually get to respond on those in a timely manner. As well as that, it's got SPC alarms, alerts and charts, so you're able to see if you're going out of the specification, whether it's manual data entry or automatic data. If we look into the future, beyond 2012 releases, there's investment in the high availability and disaster recovery for the MES product, as well as enhancements on the orchestra objects which are used as part of the model. A common information model for reporting across the board. So they've already included this as part of the information server overview product, but they're going to have more and more information available. There is enhancements on the recipe management as well. And as far as the workflow product, the recent releases means that you can have form filling from a mobile tablet. So it means that you can have not only the people on the plant, on the machines, and also in the offices, but you can also have people who are walking around able to get the information into the system and make the correct decisions. As far as system platform and InTouch, this has been updated in the R2 release to align with the Historian, as well as add the Galaxy communications. So a big investment in the application server R2 release means that you've got multi-galaxy communications. This means we can take systems, multiple systems, that are in different locations or different parts of the same plant because of the operation of that particular control system, and join them together using the orchestra bus to be able to communicate in a secure manner. And this can utilize multiple different kinds of domain access, and it passes the secure information, the secure reads and writes between the different systems. There's high availability for the Historian, so the redundant Historian has been added, the capabilities from application server, as well as being able to point at a hot backup alarm, so you're able to get, this could be done during scripting, but now they've made it a lot easier to configure this. So as far as InTouch goes, the security improvements, they've recompiled it from the bottom up using the latest Microsoft technology, so that all it includes all the security improvements and additional memory improvements that's capable. And they've added the engineering efficiency, mainly by adding the function to be able to, within the IDE, select an InTouch application and get directly to the tags. And they've added the functionality to be able to use the Historian. So as far as the Historian client, you'll be able to use that high available Historian within the InTouch environment. So if we look at the future releases, there's a lot of investment on visualization, alarms, making sure standards have been adhered to, and also security updates and the usability to make it easier to use. So if you look at the progression of control of SCADA systems, and they become more and more complex, so there's more information on the screens, and what you need to do is be able to assess them. And the focus is on making sure it's safe, reliable, efficient and effective use of your control system, which means that you'll be able to see what you're looking at and make good decisions on that. So as I said, they improve on being able to migrate from the different systems, allow open connectivity, so an advancement using the orchestra bus to be able to communicate and add communication from different systems into that. Advanced HMI, so addition of multiple a new graphics library, which is particularly for high performance HMIs, so you'll be able to respond to alarms and situations more timely. And still focusing on small and large systems for the manufacturing and infrastructure verticals. So some of the key capabilities in the future releases, this is the end of this year in 2013, then the Situational Awareness library, the introduction of alarms within the historian, multi-touch HMI, a unified historian, as well as improvements on the data acquisition. So big changes in the future releases in 2014, especially for the HMI side of things, and as well as the situational awareness. So the releases, the major release that was in January 2012 R2 was a system platform, InTouch, historian and information server, and if we look into the future to do with situational awareness, there's going to be system platform and InTouch 2014, as well as additions to the MES modules, InTrack, and the workflow product, to be able to make it easy to use, easy to migrate, and respond quicker. Okay, thank you. And are there any questions?
Participant lines are muted.
Anyone got any questions for Paul? No, I think you covered it all, Paul.
Okay.
Well, thank you for attending. As we said before, this webinar has been recorded, and the recording will be placed on our wonderware.co.uk or Ireland, i.e. website later today, so feel free to share this with any colleagues that you think might be interested. Just passing back over to Paul, he's just going to run through some of the other webinars that we've got scheduled.
Okay, we've also got some new webinars coming up. We've already done 2 webinars, one on historian R2 release, as well as system platform R2 release, but there's the MES quality module, as well as alarm management from WAN, reporting, Dream reports, which is a replacement of the HMI reports, and they've re-engineered it. There's CM, corporate energy management, a presentation, a webinar on information server, as well as reporting best practices. And these can all be joined using the events link. Thank you.